Okay, so next in the forecasting model is the weighted moving average model. Weighted moving average model is more like moving average, but in this weighted moving average model, we just assign some specific weights. Now the question is, why we want to assign weights? So we will assign weight where we check the data behavior, and if we find out that if there is some fluctuation occur, if there is some ups and down occur, and in order to make smooth those ups and down in the data, in order to remove the noise factor from the data, so we will assign those weight in that specific data set. We will use weighted moving average when trend is present. So in the moving average, I already mentioned that you not need to use moving average when there is some trend environment exists, when there is some trend in the data is present. Where we will use the weighted moving average? Where there is some trend exists. Older data usually less important, because in the weighted moving average we will assign weights on the most recent time period data. So that is why I mentioned that older data usually less important, because we will inject those weight on the most recent data, weight based on experience and intuition. So once again, the most important thing, you need to check the behavior of the data. What kind of data is it? So your experience and your intuition will be very, very important in such like scenario. The equation, the mathematical formation of weighted moving average is summation weight for period n into demand in period n or sale in period n divided by summation of weights. So let's suppose if you using 4th month period weighted moving average, so you need to assign 4 different weights. Okay, you need to divide the sum of those weight, summation weights for period n, multiply demand in period n divided by their sum of weights. So I am going to show you that how it will be working in a data environment. For example, in this question, in this weighted moving average, we have some data set which start from January to July. We have actual shed sale. For January it's 10, for February 12, similarly for July it's 26. We want to conduct a 3-month weighted moving average. So the most important thing, you need to check the behavior of the data. You need to sketch the data. What kind of data is it? If there is some trend exist in the data, then instead of using moving average, weighted moving average will be the more feasible one. So we want to conduct 3-month weighted moving average. So for this purpose we need 3 weights. Okay, weight applied period last month. For example, if we want to use forecast for month April while using 3-month previous data. So last month weight, we want to apply this weight on the month of March. 2 months ago mean for February we will use 2, and for January we will use 1, and the sum of these weight are 6. So for example, we want to conduct a forecast for month of April while using weighted moving average. So you need to choose these weight based on your intuition, based on your experience. Okay, so but you need to remember, in the weighted moving average you will assign the heaviest weight on the most recent period. Make sure that the heaviest weight among these 3 is 3. So you not need to apply this 3 on the February or January, but you need to apply this heaviest weight on the most recent month. So 3 into 13, the weight for the 2 months ago is 2. So 2 months ago or March, for February is 2 into 12 plus 1. You want to assign this weight for the first 3 months ago. 3 months ago is January. So January 1 into 10. So I just write it 10 divided by the sum of weight is 6. So for the month of April, the weight for the month of April, the forecasted value is 12.66. Similarly, for the month of May, you will assign the heaviest weight on the most recent month. Which one is the most recent month? April. So 3 into 16 plus 2 into 13 plus 1 into 12. So in this case, the forecast for the month of May will be 14.33. Similarly for June, so the most recent month is May. So you need to apply this, you need to inject this weight on May. 3 into 19 plus 2 into 16 plus 1 into 13. That this way you will calculated forecast will be 17. Similarly for July, you will calculate forecast for July, and similarly you can also use forecast for the next month. So in this previous example, when we sketch it, this is my actual sale. So you can see that it's going from January, February, March, April. In the month of July and August it's going up, then their downfall start. Okay, in December it's going down. This is my moving average. For example, if you want to construct simple moving average, so this is my moving average, this one, the yellow one, this is my moving average. So moving average behavior is same but a little bit different from the original one. It's a little bit far from the original one. The pink one is the original one, the yellow one is the simple moving average. But the weighted moving average, the behavior of the weighted moving average is more related to the actual sale, and it's nearer than the moving average. So on the basis of this, we decide that weighted moving average is more feasible than the simple moving average. But this is not the only indicator. The most important thing, you need to calculate the forecast error. So how you will calculate the forecast error? I am going to show you a simple example in Excel. For example, we have electricity demand for the year 1999, 2000, 2001, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the electricity demand. We want to forecast for the 2006. So if you want to use 3-month moving average, so the most important thing, you need to sketch the data. When you sketch this, it will be look like this one. You can see. So it starts, the demand is going up from 74 to 80 to 85 to 90, and the peak demand is 142 in 2004. The electricity demand is very high, then it's going down. So what will be the forecast for the month of 2005? So for this purpose, let's suppose we are going to conduct a 3-month moving average forecast, because you can see 74, 79, 80, but there is a sudden increase, there is a sudden jump from 2001 to 2002. So that is why we want to conduct a 3-month moving forecast. So sum these 3 previous period data divided by 3. So at this way you will calculate the forecast for 2002, and similarly with this way we will calculate the forecast for 2006. Okay, so the forecast for 2005 is 122 and the forecast for 2006 is 123. So let's suppose if we sketch this, it will be look like, let me show you. So this is my actual demand and this is my forecasted demand. So basically forecast 3-month moving average, smooth your data, it remove this hump from the data, and it give you some more smooth, accurate forecast for the month of for the year of 2006, which is 123, let's suppose 123,000 megawatt, let's suppose. So at this way you need to check, you need to use your experience, you need to use your intuition that my actual and my forecasted is matching the reality, my forecasted values matching the reality, how much it far from the reality. So while using your intuition, your experience, you will be able to judge. But once again you need to calculate the forecasting error. So weighted moving average. So as I already discussed that in weighted moving average, once again we need to use our intuition. Once again we need to use the experience, the knowledge which we gain so far. So in the weighted moving average, how you will conduct weighted moving average? So is equal to, we want to conduct forecast for 2002. So for 2002, the most recent period is 2001, and let's suppose you can see we want to inject a weight of 2 for the most recent period. We want to inject 1 for the previous period, and we want to inject for the month for the period of 1999. So you can see from this, 2 is the heaviest weight which we want to apply on the most recent one, which is 80, which is B4. You can see, plus we want to apply 1 on this, 1 into B3. We want to apply a weight of 2 on the 1999 period, divided by the sum of these weights. So 2 plus 2 plus 1, which is 5. So at this way you need to enter, and then you need to drag it down. So at this way your forecast for 2006 is 119.2. Okay, so why it's different from the other one? So let me sketch it. Okay, let me sketch this, that what is the behavior of the data. So remove this one because this is our year. This is the original one. You can see this is, so this is my chart. This is the sketch. This is the original one, the original electricity demand. This one is the weighted, and this one, the green, you can hardly see it, the green, this one, which is the 3-month moving average. So 3-month and 3-month weighted moving average are more similar. But if you check this, the moving average is going up at the 5th period. At the 5th period mean at this level, okay, which is 123. But weighted moving average is going down, which is more related to the actual one, So on the basis of this, we can interpret in our result that weighted moving average forecast in this scenario is more accurate one than the simple moving average. Once again, if you want to check error, if you want to calculate the error, so the error for this will be is equal to actual. So actual is this one minus the 3-month weighted moving average. So we will calculate, we will drag it down, this one. This is the error for weighted. Okay, let me conduct error for simple. So how we will calculate for simple is equal to actual is this minus this is the 3-month moving average. Drag it down. Okay, so this is 12.33, 12.6 is 21.4. This is 22, which is very high. This is 50, and this is 50.33, which is also very high. This is 8.2, and this is very high. So you can also decide on the basis of these error that model will be more accurate where the error is low compared to the other one. So in this case, the error is too much in the case of 3-month moving average, simple 3-month moving average, but the error is very high. But the error is very high in the 3-month moving average, while the 3-month weighted moving average error is low compared to the simple moving average. So on the basis of this, we decide that we need to use 3-month weighted moving average. Now the question is, how you will use 2, 1 and 2 these. Let me show you that this we want to apply a weight of 3, we want to apply a weight of 2 on this, and we want to apply a weight of 2 on this. So this will become 3, 2, and this will also become 2, because the sum of weights we apply 3 on the most recent, then 2 on this one, and 2 on the 1999. 3 plus 2 plus 2, 7. So let me check it now. Okay, so now you can see Now you can see, if we sketch this, if I sketch this, the behavior of the data will be, remove this one, you can see this is my actual one, this is my 3-month weighted moving, and this one is the green one. So this case, in this scenario, these weights are more better than the previous one. In the previous one we use 2 for the most recent period, 1 for this, and 2 for this one. But in this case I use 3 for the most recent period, 2 for the 2000, and 2 for the 1999. So in this scenario you can get some more good results. You can also check the error. 12, which is lower than this one, 21, which is lower than the simple moving average error, 48, which is much lower than the simple moving average, 0.428, which is much lower than this one. So if you use these weights, so these weights are more better than these weights. Okay, so basically you can also use hit and trial. You can also use hit and trial if you know the use of Excel, so you can easily improve the quality of your forecast. You can easily accurate, you can get good accuracy of your forecast. There is another example in which we have some daily based data which start from 1st May and end at 1st July. This is time period and this is actual sale. We want to conduct a weighted moving average. So once again you will assign these weights based on your intuition, based on your experiences. So in this example, if I click this, we assign the heaviest weight. So among these, the heaviest weight is 0.6. So 0.6 will be applied to the most recent period, which is 250. So you can see C5, which is C5. You can see C5 into 0.6, C4 into 0.3 into 0.1 into this divided by the sum of weights. So you need to drag it down. And then you need to check the behavior of the data. Okay, you need to select this, you need to choose this. Okay, just remove this one. This is time period. So this is my weighted forecasted, and this is my actual sale data. Let me show you. For example, if you want to construct a simple moving average, so how you will construct a simple moving average? So you need to select the previous 3-month data divided by 3 and drag it down. Now let me show you how you will understand, how you will sketch it, that which one is the best one. So you can see from this figure, you can see this is my actual. You can see this is my actual. This is my actual data. From this is my actual data, the red one. This is the green one, is the weighted, in which we assign the weights, and this one is the simple moving average. So my simple moving average is too far from the reality, you can see. But this green is a little bit same, this green is a little bit more relevant to the actual one. So from the sketch, from the graph, you can also decide. But what I will recommend to you, you need to calculate the error. So the error for weighted, the error for weighted is equal to, this is my actual sale minus the forecasted value. So we will just drag it down. Okay, now the error, let's suppose this is the error. This is for the simple moving average, which we construct at this place. Simple, so actual is this one minus this is my simple moving average. So you can see 9.60 error is much smaller than 13.6. So this is for the weighted, so we will choose weighted error forecast, more accurate compared to simple moving average. This is much lower than this one, this one, this one, this one. So on the basis of this, we will conclude that which forecasting technique, which one will be the more accurate one. So on the basis of these interpretation, on the basis of these rules, we will conclude that a specific forecasting technique is the best one in a specific